Eventually, the train passes, and I can just about hear the sound of myself wheezing in panic. Eyes wide open, I remember grabbing Jade, and I can feel her still in my grip. Fearing the worst, I slowly turn to look to my side. Much to my relief, Jade is lying beside me. Safe, but just as panicked and scared as I am. I saved her. I did it. My emotions run wild. Like breaking a dam, trying to hold back a torrent of water, I break down into tears and I let out the loudest scream of pure elation. What were you thinking? I shout out, outraged that she tried to take her own life. Slamming one fist down on the hard ground numerous times, I scream like a boiling kettle. Unable to think straight, tears drip down from my chin as I pound the ground with my fist over and over again. I dread to think what would have been if I was even a second slower. Jade weeps into her hands, and I can't help but go utterly silent as I look at her. Sitting beside me, clearly broken on the inside, I stop feeling angry at her. I feel sorry. What's driven her to this point? She's always been so full of life, but right now, I don't even recognize her at all. Why? I ask softly, wiping tears from my eyes as I slowly release my clamp-like grip on her clothes. Jade reacts to my question by sobbing even harder. She goes fetal and buries her face into her hands. As I gaze at her, I can't stop myself from remembering that first day we met. How I remember sitting on the school steps crying like she is now. How I remember Jade sitting next to me and taking hold of my hand tight. I even remember what she whispered in my ear. I'm with you now. You're not alone. I'll wait with you until you're happy again. Shuffling in closer to her, I don't think about anything else. I reach out and grab one of her hands. Squeezing it as tight as I possibly can, I lean in. I'm with you now, I whisper, repeating the words she said to me all those years ago. You're not alone. I'll wait with you until you're happy again. Jade sniffs back hard and slowly turns her head to look at me. She looks exhausted and pale. What? She mumbles through the tears. Sensing she doesn't remember it like I do, I just smile. For some reason, I'm not as angry as I once was. I'm just utterly relieved she's okay. Letting out the longest breath, I fall backward and lay on the ground, looking up at the darkening sky as drops of rain start to fall. My heart still pounding, I don't let go of Jade's hand. I want her to know I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Minutes pass, and Jade continues to sob uncontrollably. The sound of her crying brings a tear to my eye. As we lay side by side, the ground begins to vibrate again, signaling another train approaching. Not letting go of her hand, I stand up and stand over her. She looks up through the tears in her eyes, and I force her to stand by yanking her upright. Come, I say, pulling her away from the track. Breaking into a jog, we run side by side until we reach the slope overlooking the track. We then sit side by side in safety from the train. Looking across the town from our vantage point, it's clear there isn't much time left of the day as the sun sets. The strong wind then bites at us, and the two of us shiver as the raindrops get heavier and heavier. Looks like it's going to rain hard, I say to Jade, who's staring vacantly off into space. She nods but doesn't look at me. I can tell she's hurting. Running my fingers through my wet hair, I wonder how I can get through to her. I'm upset still, but was she really trying to end her own life? Why, Jade? I ask, desperate for her to answer. Lowering her head, I hear her start to weep once again. She covers her face with her hands and sobs. I turn to face her, and I look at her golden blonde hair. I look at the uniform she's wearing, borrowed from Jackie. I look at the girl beside me, who early on today brought up suppressed emotions in me with just a single kiss. Was I begin to ask, forcing myself to speak. Was I a good kisser? Jade chuckles, if only for a moment. She stops sobbing and lowers her hands from her face. Tears still in her eyes, she stares off into the distance. Chicken nuggets? She replies weakly. Playfully, I gently nudge her in reaction. I do not taste like nuggets, I giggle. You cow. A faint smile appears on her face and it gives me confidence. Feeling the cold, I bring my legs up to my chest and hug them with my arms. Resting my face on my knee, I turn to look at Jade. I was scared back there, you know? I admit. I thought I was about to lose you forever. Jade is speechless. I can tell she's not ready to talk about it. Good thing Barry told me where I could find you, I say, watching her every move. Jerk, Jade huffs, swiping wet hair from her eyes. Maybe, I awkwardly chuckle, actually taking a second to appreciate the fact that he did. I'm sorry, Jade, I say, hoping she'd at least look at me. I shouldn't have got angry like I did at the cafe. It's just that kiss really got me confused. It did cause a stir, didn't it? Jade replies after a second, forcing a smile. Jade then breaks down once again, and her whole body shakes as she cries into her hands. I never meant to hurt anyone, Lara. Jade whines into her hands. I promised this time things would be different from before. I thought I was better. Obviously not. Different from before? I ask, curious as to what she means. Jade lowers her head onto her knees and thankfully turns to look at me. Her eyes are just as red as before. I'm surprised there are any tears left. I never got the chance, Jade says, then stops and closes her eyes tight as tears dribble down her pale cheeks. I reach across to touch her arm. Chance to, I ask. She opens her eyes again and looks deep into mine. I never got the chance to tell you how deeply sorry I am for what happened between us, she admits, looking away with guilt. Oh, I reply, remembering the pain she caused. Jade puts her hand on mine and squeezes it tight. I know this doesn't make it better, but I didn't mean for it to get out, Lara. When you admitted you loved me, I got scared. I didn't know what to say or do. I pout. I want to get angry with her for how stupid she acted, but I'm dead silent. You have to believe me. When I spoke to Aya about it, I was only telling her because I was so confused and worried for our friendship. I didn't think it would somehow get around the school. Listening, I just look into her eyes as my blood boils inside. It wasn't for her to tell anyone. Jade turns away from my glare, unable to make eye contact with me. I hate myself, Lara, she says. Whatever you say or do won't be worse than how I feel about myself. Crying out, Jade strikes the ground with her free hand. Now, I've gone and done the same thing to my brother, and it's official. I'm the worst human being in the world. Shrinking into a ball, Jade covers her face and starts crying once again. I can't live with myself anymore, she sobs. I tried to be different with Matt coming out. I tried desperately to be supportive of him and Sonya. But yet again, I've opened my big mouth. Jade looks up into the sky. Deeply hurt, she screams out. I tried my best. I really did this time. Aya? I ask, fixated on that name. Aya? I look around frantically as my brain connects dots in my mind. I take my hand away from Jade and gasp in realization. Wait, Jade, I say in a panic. What happened to Sonya and Matt after I stormed off? Jade looks at me for only a second, and I can see the guilt written across her face. She lets out a long sigh and wipes the tears from her cheeks. Thanks to my big mouth, Jade admits, clearly forcing herself to tell me. Sonya's parents found out what we'd been doing. They are huge transphobes, Lara. You should have seen the contempt in Sonya's mom's eyes when they found out. It's all my fault. What did they say? I ask quickly, needing more information. When Matt found out it was me and not Kaylee, Jade explains, racked by grief. He looked at me with the same hate as you did. It was bad enough that I hurt my best friend, but to do it to my brother as well. I'm the worst, Lara. I don't deserve to be alive. Don't say that, I reply bluntly. Jade's shoulders sink. But it's true. I shake my head, and things still don't stack up. So, if you wanted it to be different this time, what happened, Jade? How did it go from us helping Sonya, Matt, and Jackie to you almost jumping in front of a train? I'm not sure, Jade replies honestly. I think the only person I told was Aya. She wanted to know why I wasn't hanging out with her after school. I don't think I told anyone else, but then again, I've got a problem, so who knows what I've been blurting around. Aya, I mumble, trying to think. Then it occurs to me, Aya is the same girl in our year that's been spreading rumors about me trying to take my life. I only know this because Barry told me. I didn't believe him. I thought he was just being a jerk like he normally is. Wait, Jade, you told that Aya girl about Sonya, Matt, and Jackie? Jade just slowly nods. Yeah, she replies. She'd never say anything. She promised she'd keep it a secret, so it's clearly my fault that it all got out because I trust her with everything. I sit upright. Jade, it's Aya. She's the one betraying you. I don't think so, Jade dismissively replies. She always keeps my secrets. She even tells me when I've let them get out and how to deal with it. My face drops and I give Jade an exhausted look. Are you serious? I say, reaching across, gently tapping on the top of her head. Wake up already! She's a two-faced gaslighting cow! I barely touch her, yet Jade throws me a dirty look and rubs the back of her head. What are you saying? I'm saying you shouldn't trust her, I reply frankly. In fact, next time I see her, I'm going to have to use some choice words. I don't understand. Surely it's my fault. Well, kinda, I guess, I say, rolling my eyes. Yeah, for trusting that snake. I'd suggest you don't tell Aya anything from now on. You'll soon learn if she's actually your friend or not. Giving me the most confused look I've ever seen, I struggle to understand why Jade doesn't realize that Aya's been gossiping about every little detail Jade tells her. Still, the rain at this point is really starting to come down. Should we go find some shelter? I say, pointing up the slope. Jade wipes her eyes with her sleeve and looks around at how dark it's gotten. She nods in agreement and gets to her feet. There's a bus stop at the trail entrance, I say, getting to my feet. Please come sit with me. Are you sure you want me to? Jade asks, looking everywhere but at me. I hold my hand out for her to take it. She looks at me bemused, but after a moment of hesitation, she takes hold of it. We share an awkward smile, but quickly head towards the trees as the rain continues to hammer down hard. Fighting away through all the brush, using my phone as a light, we eventually make it back to the small fence. We couldn't have timed it out better because as soon as we got to the bus stop, it's empty and a perfect place to keep talking. The pitter-patter of the heavy raindrops on the plastic roof above is almost hypnotic. If it wasn't for the howling wind, it would almost be cozy. Please tell me, I say, as we sit close to each other for warmth. Why did you step in front of that train? Jade looks down at the concrete floor silently. I nudge her to get her attention and give her a warm smile. Hey, I'm not judging you. I just want to help. I'd given up, Jade answers, biting down hard on her bottom lip as I see tears welling in her eyes. I'm so lonely. No matter what I do, everyone around me just ends up hating me. Now I've gone and potentially ruined lives. Jade kicks out at the floor in frustration. You should have seen how Matt reacted to me. Lonely? I ask, empathizing with her completely. Yeah. Jade nods, forcing the sadness down with a wry smile. Me too, I admit. I'm lonely too. I'm sorry, Jade says as a tear dribbles down her left cheek. Reaching out to touch my hand, she gives me a bright smile. Today, hanging out with you and the others, I started to feel like myself again. You kissed me, I snark, feeling the sting of embarrassment on my cheeks. Now I can't get it out of my mind. Did it mean anything? Gasping, Jade quickly looks away. She mumbles anxiously. I'm sorry about that. I got a little excited and I wasn't thinking. I laugh it off, but deep down I'm extremely disappointed. It's okay, I lie, not wanting her to feel bad about it. I wasn't expecting us to suddenly become a couple, you dope. You just surprised me is all. Oh? Jade says anxiously, rubbing the back of her neck. You're such a cow, I laugh, nudging her with my shoulder. Just so we're clear, I still have feelings for you. You do? Jade asks nervously, sliding herself slightly away from me. Don't act so scared, Jade, I huff, getting cross at her reaction. It's not like I'm gonna try and mount you right here, right now. I just want you to know I still do. And that kiss really messed me up. I'm sorry. Jade laughs awkwardly, going bright red herself. Actually, I'm sorry for everything. Sounds like it wasn't completely your fault, I reply, gritting my teeth and clenching my fist. That Aya girl you call a friend is the one I'm angry at now. I bet she's the one who tore us apart by making my feelings for you public. It sounds like she might still be using you. Still, Jade says plainly. I'm sorry, Lara. I can only assume your getting together with Barry was a result of what happened between us. Stop saying sorry already. I dismiss with a wave of my hand and a friendly smile. If I hadn't been with Barry, I wouldn't have met Sonya. I wouldn't have gone to that cabin and made a new friend. I wouldn't have reconnected with you. These things I don't regret. You like her, don't you? Jade asks with a cheeky smile. Who? Sonya? Completely taken back, I blush hard. What? I saw the way you were looking at her, Jade says, beaming a broad grin. It was adorable to see you like that. Big bad Lara reduced to a love-stricken kitten. Was that how you used to look at me? Jade then bursts out into laughter, and it shocks me to the core. I don't know how to take it at all. Moments ago, she was a complete mess, and now she's laughing and joking? What are you laughing at? I sneer. Matt's head over heels for Sonya, she answers, still giggling. Between me and you, he's grouchy because he thinks you're winning Sonya's heart. It's so my brother. He's the adorable oaf that's always second place. I don't know where to look. Yeah, I've got a soft spot for Sonya, but I'm certainly not trying to step on Matt's toes. That's not funny, I sigh. I'm not laughing at my brother's misfortune, Jade chuckles, taking hold of one of my shaking hands. I'm laughing at the thought I just had. You better tell me, I say, narrowing my eyes and folding my arms. Rubbing her face, Jade smirks in my direction. Well, if you have to know, I was thinking I could make it up to Matt for everything that's happened by taking you out on a date. I don't see how that's funny, Jade. Don't lead me on. Things become very tense between us. I don't want her to tease me like that. I should really go home, I say, reaching into my pants pocket for my phone to check the time. My dad is going to be worried. Jade's laughter was truly fleeting. She looks depressed again once more. Hey, I say softly, putting an arm around her shoulder. Tell me what you're thinking. If you're sure, Jade groans, stressfully rubbing at her eyes. I know I have no right to ask you this, but will you come back to mine with me? I could really do with your support. I'm desperate for Matt not to hate me. I think for a moment, and actually I'm hoping Sonya might be with him. Okay, I answer. I can do that. Jade leans back on the bench and looks up at the rain hitting the plastic roof above us. I think we're gonna get completely drenched, she says with a wry smile. Jackie's going to be mad that I got her uniform wet. I stand up and look down at myself wearing Sonya's pants. I pick at them and laugh. I don't think those two will be that bothered, I explain. I can't speak for them both, but I have a feeling we're about to have two new girly friends. They won't need these, nor do I think they will want to wear them. Jade stands and stuffs her hands into her pockets. Do you think they will let me keep these? I like having pockets. Jade's home isn't too far from here, Still, we really are going to get wet. As we both prepare ourselves to head out into the nasty weather, I look at Jade, and she fills me with a warmth I haven't felt in ages. Ready? I ask. Will you be able to keep up? Jade asks with a cheeky smile. You've gotten slow, you know. I'm still fast enough to save your dumbass hide, I snark. Ha! Jade laughs, but then instantly sighs. Please don't tell anyone about that. I'm ashamed. Oh, and Lara? Yeah? I can't thank you enough for finding me. I don't deserve you in my life. Well, you better make it up to me, I answer, pretending to be annoyed at her. You can take me on that date next week. There's a film I want to watch, and I'm thinking you can treat me to a nice dinner. Jade's face goes from worried to relieved in a split second. It's a date. She grins with a playful wink. I've got a killer dress I've been wanting to wear for a while, so if we're going to do that, you better dress nice too. The wildest smile creeps across my face. Gotcha, I reply. Just don't take me to McDonald's like Barry did for our first date. I almost died of shame. Right, Jade nods quickly, understanding me. Chicken nuggets? Yeah, I laugh, looking deep into Jade's pretty blue eyes. Chicken nuggets. Fighting the bitter cold and the stinging rain, me and Jade eventually make it to her house. Apprehensively, Jade stands at the door and knocks rather than letting herself in. I stand behind her for support. As the door opens, I can see Jade freaking out. She's worried, so I take hold of her hand to reassure her. Jade? Her mother says as she opens the door and looks down at us both. Both drowned rats, we peel back our hair and look at her and smile. Hey, we both say in unison. My God! Jade's mom gasps, ushering us in. You girls will catch your death out there. Get inside now. We both step inside and the rain drips from our clothing and our hair and pools around us. The warmth of their house is so comforting. Jade's family has always been so welcoming. I miss coming here. Like she'd already prepared for us both to come in soaked from head to toe, Jade's mom appears with a warm smile and 2 very soft towels. Here, she says, handing them to us. Taking mine, I happily wrap myself up. The smell of fresh laundry emanates from the towel, and it makes me feel so cozy, even if my shoes are squelching. So it seems a lot has happened tonight, huh? Jade's mom says, looking at us both with a friendly smile. Jade, I think you need to clear the air with Matt, don't you? Is he angry at me? Jade asks, throwing me a worried look. A little, yeah. Jade's mom nods. But I think it's mostly because he thinks you've hurt his friend. Jade's mom pauses for a second and looks at us with a frank expression. Can you believe Nathan is actually Sonya, Jade? I was blown away when I found out that's who Matt's mystery girlfriend is. Is she okay? Jade asks as she lowers her head in shame. Not really sure, if I'm honest, Jade's mom answers, talking quieter. She seems happier now it's all out in the open, but I'd be putting on a brave face too after how her parents acted. We both hang our heads in shame. Poor Sonya. Don't look so worried, girls. Jade's mom laughs awkwardly. She speaks highly of you both, and I'm proud that you two have supported her with her coming out. Coming out? I look up with surprise. Jade's mom's eyes meet mine, and she gives me the wildest grin. Oh, Lara, it's been a long time. I'm glad you two finally made up with each other. Mom, Jade whines. Don't be so cringe. You have made up, right? Jade's mom asks, nervously giggling. Yeah, I answer softly, nudging Jade with my shoulder. I've missed her silly face. She misses you too. Mom! Jade whines again, going bright red. Stop it already! What? Why? Jade's mom laughs, shrugging her shoulders. I'm just telling the truth. Jade pouts and I can't help but giggle. Anyways, Jade's mom points up the staircase behind her. You two get out of those wet things. Jade, let Lara borrow something, okay? Sure, Mom, Jade answers with a nod of her head. Like old times. Trudging upstairs, Jade leads me to her room. It smells so strong of the perfume she wears. She must bathe in it. Still, brings back memories. Jade then passes me some yoga pants and a sports bra and points to the bathroom. Without talking, the two of us get dressed and meet back in the hallway. We smile at each other, but things are still a little tense. Cute? Jade points at me, wearing her workout stuff. I'm still jealous of how big your chest is. I bring my hands up to my chest and the sports bra she's given me is struggling a little to hold me in. Yeah, I reply, giving her a wry smile. I then look at her, wearing baggy sweatpants and a hoodie. Why is it you get all the comfy stuff? Where's my hoodie? Oh, Jade reacts all flustered. Let me go get you one. Jade's mom appears at the top of the stairs before Jade can go back to her room. You, young lady, she says sternly, pointing at Jade. You're coming with me to have a chat with Matt. Jade's mom looks at me, and I feel like a deer in headlights. Ma'am, I say nervously. Lara, dear, Jade's mom grins. Kaylee is in the living room alone. That girl might need someone to talk to. Why don't you go hang out with her? Also, I'll send Sonya in soon. I'm sure she'll be happy to see you. Sure, I answer politely. Just as I move around Jade's mom, she stops me with an arm on my shoulder. Lara, she whispers in my ear. I'm sorry to hear about your parents. You know, if you ever need it, you're always welcome here. I've always considered you like a daughter. It broke my heart when you and Jade fell out. A daughter? I ask, confused. At this point, Jade has gone back into her room to get me a hoodie, so she's out of earshot of her mom talking to me. Yeah, she replies softly. I seem to be collecting new daughters recently. So what's one more? Thank you. You're welcome, sweetheart. As she lets go of my shoulder, I take a single step downstairs, but she stops me again. Lara, Jade's mom whispers. I know Jade can be a pain in the ass sometimes. I really hope you can forgive her. She's a good kid, really. I don't say anything. I just nervously smile and take another step down. I'm rooting for you, so don't give up on her, Jade's mom says, giving me a thumbs up. Give her time, and she might surprise you. What? I ask in bemusement as she just looks at me with the silly sort of grin Jade does. Oh, nothing. Jade's mom chuckles nonchalantly and turns away. I'm cooking you kids some chicken nuggies. I hope you're hungry.
Thank you so very much for watching and making it all the way to the very end. If you've enjoyed the content, please consider supporting us on Patreon, where members get early access to all our content.